Okay, amazing looking bus, but approaching 20 years old. Only 65,000 miles on it. But here is an upgrade worth making. First generation Knorr Bremse disc brake calipers. I serviced this bus for him when he first bought it. And we put new pin kits. If you service them correctly, the big pins with the boots, see, this stayed nice and free. That stayed nice and free. See that? Comes back almost by itself. It's not the problem with these first gen calipers. It's this. Look at how stuck that is. These get stuck, and if you try to clean them out and re-grease them with the right grease, they're free when you first stick them in. You come back 5 minutes later, they're almost like they're welded in. This is a bad design. These first generation Knorr Bremse calipers. Video 2 coming. Okay, here's video 2. These are the third generation Knorr Bremse calipers. And both pins, they extended the housing, and it's not even a rubber boot, it's like a freeze plug. And the same thing with this. This is like a great big cup. But both pins, these are third gen calipers. You can buy these from Prevost for about $600, $650 to get the bolts and everything. They come already assembled with the bracket, with the brake shoes. You guys with these first gen calipers, it's a bad design. The second generation ones don't do that, and they're good, but those are junk. So here's what they look like installed, all nice and happy. This bus got all 4 relays replaced. Along with the new chambers and all new calipers. We also did bags and organs on this thing too. See if I can do this quick. This is the bracket for the caliper for Knorr Bremse disc brakes. These are first gen disc brakes. This is the rear caliper bracket. It's a little different from the front, and here's how. These bolts that they use, they're sized, they come right to here. If you don't put the flat washer in there, these will come past, they'll come out. And when they do, they could hit the rotor. They could come in contact with the rotor if they're too deep. But here's a real pickle. There's one bolt that's on a shorter collar than the other 5. It's on the top. And if the bolts are so close in length, if you put a longer bolt into this hole, it'll hit, the bolt will come through and it'll hit the face of the rotor. Not on all of them, just on these first gen front calipers. The difference between first generation, second generation, and third generation calipers. Here's first generation calipers. This one still has its bracket and the pin kits are in it still. This one does not, for educational purposes. This first gen caliper has 2 weak points. These boots here go bad, and when they do, water gets in here and rusts this pin. But that's not even the bad part. Even if this is serviced correctly and this has been kept greased and the boot is good, the shorter pin, these get stuck bad. They get stuck. This is a bad design. This is the third generation caliper. I don't have a second gen here, but I'll explain it. Video 2 coming up. Okay, this is a third generation caliper. And the thing you want to look at is on the first gen, where they had the boot that goes bad, the weak link. On the 3rd gen, they've extended the housing further. This should be the boot. The boot used to be here. Well, they changed it to this with a cap. So that's better. This can't fail. That's forever. Then the smaller pin is like the bigger one. It's sealed on both ends. The smaller pin is. These are forever. This is the 3rd generation. The 2nd generation calipers that I don't have here have the bigger housing, eliminating the boot for the bigger pin. But the smaller pin is in between this and what they got. This is like a big cap that goes on here. And the 2nd gens, in my opinion, are good calipers. I've never seen them stick. But all the way till about 2006, from the late 90s up till 06, these are the calipers that came on the buses. And if you've got these on your bus, I'd get rid of them and upgrade to these new ones. You can get all 6 hubs on an XL2 with hardware and everything for $4 grand in parts. They come with the brake pads, with the pins, everything assembled. You just wham, bam, slam.